Oh, well, hello once again. Hambbage here. Howdy. Happy Monday, at least in my world. I don't know what you guys are getting into for a day when you're watching this. Could be a Tuesday or a Friday or Sunday. Who knows? But either way, I want to say welcome. I'm glad you stopped by. We're going to play some hardcore vanilla Minecraft as we are wont to do, and hopefully have some good fun as we keep making progress towards building our dark room spawner. And what does that mean for today's episode? Well, we had some good news coming back from our latest caving expedition, deep underground off in the big kind of Swiss cheese block we discovered end of our mine shaft. We've got plenty of cobble and coal to turn this into 30 pieces or blocks of smooth stone. So I think we're gonna go to that effect now. And then while this is cooking, we'll go have another overland expedition. So we want to switch these into blocks. Not too bad, that's almost 10 per. We're then going to take, and we're not gonna use our main furnace. We'll keep cooking the gold and iron. We got lots of all that kind of stuff with our block coal. We can drop that one in. I got those. Have this there. We kind of ended in a flurry of hustling activity last time because we'd gone long. So for anybody who didn't catch that episode, we did a bunch of caving last time looking for all our coal. We, as you can see, got some. We're certainly not long on coal, but enough to finish up the stone cooking at least to prepare us for our world. Now, we are lowish on arrows, and here's what I think we're gonna do is keep one of these because we're gonna combine. Take another here. While we're cooking, I am going to set our sleep, first of all, and you know what that means, sip of coffee. We are going to do a bit of farm starting with our beets and our wheat. Now, see, I don't think I can get enough of a run there from the start to really go, but I like what we had stumbled upon. In our last farm in terms of lighting and structure. Which was to do the half slabs over the top, but that being said, we can go, oh, I like these because they're so distinct. was just a miss. A miscount. Yeah, these might be my new favorite bricks for this stuff. Six. I wish I thought you were somebody. Oh, you are new. Come on. All right. Minecraft, Mojumbo, whoever you may be, let this villager wanderer guy have one of the good things. None of those are the good things. For anybody who may be wondering, the good things are jungle saplings, podzol, bamboo, I think they will sell like melon seeds or something. We obviously don't need those, but he's got a handful of items that can kind of jumpstart us. Bamboo would have been so great, and it's kind of that typical deal, right? We started this world so set with emeralds from mining and from doing the trades out of that village. So of course, these wandering guys are never going to have anything we want to buy from them. Excuse me, llamas. Don't you... Oh, man. Don't you go spoiling my water. We can try to get their leads, too. Before they wander off too far. Oh, I'm still going there after they're out of the way. It's much faster. So I know you guys are thrilled with another exciting farming episode, but we need to do 2 more batches of the stone cooked. Oh, and speaking of which, we should go check that, get the boat, get the leads, all that good stuff. That was just a mess. Still cooking. Okay, halfway. Get the boat. And I was really torn on the whole not bow decision. With only 24 arrows, it's pretty low. But based on what we've been through recently, I think we've... No, you're not supposed to get in the boat. They get in the boat. Now the boat is lead. There we go. Alright, have fun. Alright. Back around to here. We'll go do this first. Without the boat there, I seem to be able to make it. Alright, so we want... I don't think I made any slabs yet. Nope, that's not the stone cutter thing. Polished deep slate slab. I think that's... No, the rest of these are polished. Just want to make sure I had the right thing. So this will make us 2 rows, which is great. Oh man, got greedy. Also don't want to look at that shield. Oh, that was even worse. Now I gotta fill the water back in. Oh, man. Oh, maybe it just filled itself in. Alright, I'm gonna stop messing about. Steady is better than spurty. That's gonna be the... You need to get out of the water, pal. Why can I not pass you? It's no wonder his villager cousins always get stuck in those little trapdoor boat bobsled looking things. You guys know what I'm talking about? Especially in the taiga villages, where they'll have this little, like, I think it's 3 long, but it's all trapdoors. I don't know if it's supposed to be like an animal pen or what. But the villagers always get stuck in it. So you'll come to a village and be like, oh man, did the zombies get everybody? And then you find that like a dozen villagers are all jammed into a single 1x3 little bobsled looking thing. Because they walk in and can't get out of the trapdoors. It's crazy. He looks to have done the same thing in my irrigation channel here. Oh, you're out. Well, that's good. Go ahead and finish this one up. Oh. Right at the end, I got all... Oh, yeah, I can just do a couple. What did I say about being humble and something in the last episode? Gotta be careful. Can't be overconfident. All right. So that looks wonderful. Now, they're still a bit problematic, being that they can still crush our crops. Let's put that up. Let's go check the deal. Looks like we're getting towards night. Really want this to be an exploration kind of stream. See, this is our inefficiency here. However long they were cooking before, we kind of got into the lower third there of our cook. But we can do these for the little bit of XP that they'll give us. Lots and lots and lots of... Always eerie when the torches just balance out like that. I don't know. There's a whole lot of reason to go running around. Looks like we're close to bed. We'll just shut the door. Not quite bedtime yet. Put the boat down. Don't think we'll need it again this evening. All right, sleepy time. It's coffee time. So I expect in the course of some of today's recording, I don't know how late I'm going to go today. I don't think it'll be exceptionally long, but definitely going to get a few episodes, and I don't know if the Garbage Man is going to come again or not. And this goes to show I rarely do more than just kind of scan at my videos myself. I don't think I've ever heard the garbage trucks that I know have been here so many times. But after those jets, I did listen for the jet flyover in the our titular title inducing episode of This World Olympic Flyover. When we were thinking of a world name, all of a sudden it sounded as though two military intensity level jets came ripping over the top of my house. It was so long and so sustained, and I was kind of wondering if the dishes were going to rattle and bounce out of the cupboards, that kind of stuff. It was loud and intense. But then I went back and listened to that video, and it wasn't that bad at all on the recording. So that makes me wonder if maybe the garbage trucks and some of that kind of stuff aren't nearly as noticeable to you guys as they are to me. If this mic limits what it picks up on the more distant sounds. I realize I have no idea how many of these I've set. There's the tough bit done, and now we miss. Now we just go. Alright, so that was extra production. I kind of wish these guys would go. I don't want to have to kill them, but we're not going to hang out here all day. So they get one more chance as we go in and put the sugar cane away and check. Then we may have to well, you know what? I can lead the llamas away, and maybe he'll follow. All right, so we got lots of time. Oh, I didn't do the one thing I said I was going to do. And we can put these away for now. This last field, yeah, it could be pumpkins, but wrong box. All right, you llamas, come with me. Taking you to my new natural llama preserve, and hopefully he'll be like, "Oh, my llamas, where are they going? Come with the llamas. You're their friend, buddy. Don't you want to see where they're going?" There's another beehive. Still have yet to see any bees out anywhere around here. Okay, you guys have fun. Be free, mountain, hilly, forest llamas, I guess. Alright. Your llamas are over there. Go to them. They miss you. Deadbeat and wandering trader. Alright, I hope he's not going to wreck too much of this. So, how's everybody's weekend? Again, as I said at the beginning of the episode, this is a Monday for me. Did everybody have a good time? Anybody do anything fun and exciting? Anybody watch a lot of Olympic coverage? I haven't watched nearly as much as I hoped to. I caught some fencing. That was pretty cool. But, yeah, really not too much. It was when I wasn't recording yesterday. It was it's warm and kind of muggy, but not oppressively so. So I was out for a good part of the day. And also had it's odd. It's been a little bit since I've had a Zoom. It seems like last year it was so trendy. I mean, we're trendy. We're humans. That's what we do. But you couldn't go 5 minutes without being pulled into a Zoom by friends or people or whatever. Just, hey, gotta see everybody's faces while we talk and all that. My Fantasy Football League had a Zoom meeting last night. Um, this is we are at 20 years, 19 or 20 years, I think this may be 20, of playing this league. It's crazy to think, at the time, we're all just out of school, and I really hadn't, fantasy football was just kind of blowing up. It had been around for a long time prior. Um, and I remember when I was like in college, all the scores and everything had to be kept by hand, but people would do it. They'd go read the newspaper for player stats, and the Monday after the big Sunday football, everybody would watch the games and stuff, but you wouldn't know how the players really did until after, and it had to be done by hand. Oh, it's perfect. So it was kind of crazy. It was this whole different world. And I never played it. I was like, I don't know. I like football, but I don't want to watch it that much. And there was no NFL ticket. You got the games that were on in your area. It was a different world, all you guys. But then Yahoo came along, and nowadays, at least for me and my side, I still have a Yahoo email account for some of my stuff. I don't use it as much as I used to, but for years, wow, for years that was kind of bread and butter stuff for me. But Yahoo and Netscape and some of those were the big footprints of the internet. They were what it was. So we got those planning. That was the main deal, I guess. Because I'm not going to do the whole bone meal deal and all that, but I guess while we're doing it, we should go ahead and start these. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we do melons and pumpkins too while we're here and standing around? We got more paper than we could ever need. Well, I see that very loosely. Let's make one hoe. We can maybe fudge it a bit. I'm really just trying to low impact do the propagation of seeds without having to do bone meal and all that kind of stuff. No labor intensive farming, or at least as minimal as possible. I don't like having the odd bit of wood left over, so there's some sticks. We need, I guess we'll need 2 more. No, we won't. We'll just do 1, because we only need to do 2 rows at the moment. All right, 1 more hoe. You go away, you go away. How's our cooking going? Ooh. Hold on. Priority job. So that's 28 next batch, and we should be good with some room to cushion us a little bit on smooth stone, which is nice. It looks like we're getting ready for evening here, so we'll do 1 more day. Ooh, that helps. We're up to level 41 now. I'm not dealing with any of that as bone meal. This is the most efficient time to use the bone meal, but I don't want to get sucked into creating full farm fields right now. It's not what we need to do. So what I'm thinking is we'll do a single row like this for each. Leave the sugar cane until these have all propagated and given us enough seeds, and then we'll pull the sugar cane out. I don't know why I'm walking around these fields. Gotta get used to those new half slabs. And it should clean up that cobble at the end. Make this look nice. It's a farm after all. Should be beautiful. I think we were putting torches on these end caps too, just to make them kind of nice. Alright. Pumpkins on this side? Sure. Pumpkins in. And melons. Now, these are at risk and exposed. All it takes is one little bouncy spider to come along, and that can all get trampled. And we don't particularly want that, but I also don't particularly want to fool around with making walls and all that kind of stuff. So we'll leave them as is for the time being. We will shield up, set our hoe, have our bed ready. Let's restock our food. Nothing else there. How close are we? Not at all. And guessing we're about a half hour into our episode. Well, not even quite, 27 and a half. Which is okay. I had planned to just kind of randomly go in a new direction for wood, but with only half an episode, let's just go back to the Dark Forest. We know where it is. We can kind of get there without much searching around. I really, we've got so many other places to just go see and explore, and I'm sure there's forests and all that good stuff. I want to keep doing that too. But with a half hour, you go out a little ways, you're not going to come back with anything. We'll just end up wrapping the episode up far away from home, wondering where we are, and with the possibility that if I get diverted before I record again, that we wander aimlessly again. So instead, we'll try to do the boat and then run across the desert, just chop trees, try to knock that whole requirement out with a bunch of dark wood, and kind of reevaluate from there what more we might need. The huge thing, and reason why I was kind of jokingly like, come on, please, village trader, bamboo would be so huge, and ships could give that to us. The wandering trader, obviously, jungles. All of those could be good sources for us. But haven't been yet, so that would require an exploration. But having scaffolding up for that upper level to build the box and everything, build the tower up, all that way faster and better with bamboo and scaffolding. So I don't mind doing another episode of just kind of adventure-y stuff before we really commit, in the hopes of setting something like that up. We'll see. just want to go right off this corner. The other village is right up over there, but we're not aiming exactly for the village. We want to go to the dark forest. Already checked all this good stuff. Don't need to worry about rabbit meat anymore, but if any of these cats kill bunnies and we see a foot flopping around, we'll always take those. the jump boost, great little potion, fun to have. So yeah, knowing our director out there is going to be a big help. We'll just chop some trees, see what all is back in this forest as we kind of push its darkness back. We know what lies to that edge. That's where the village and everything is, and we kind of skirted around it on this side. Birch forest and plains, a little bit of swamp here, kind of in that order to get round to the southeastern corner. All right, here we are, base of operations, and let's chop. We can leave some of these lower trees kind of ringing the hill just to let us know where the boundary of the biomes is. I don't know if that really matters, but yeah, it's something. Plus we'll have the mushrooms. I don't plan to harvest a whole bunch of those. All right, any other, yep. Another pondering question that I don't know the answer to. Maybe you guys do. If you do, leave it in the chat. It's certainly something you can look up on the wiki. I probably have in the past and just forgot. But can beehives spawn in the dark forest? Like if we plant oaks around these lilies, will that potentially get us a new beehive? Don't know. Would be nice. So, I mean, not that we're gonna plant flowers here, but certainly at some point we'll have silk touch and could move those bees on back to home. Since at the moment we seem to have a lot of hives and no bees to fill them, but that's okay because remember the way we set up the farm the last time. The bee nests, and I'd probably have been calling them hives by the name of the crafted one versus the natural one. These are nests, not hives, the ones that you see out in the world. You can make beehives to add them into. Usually we will make a batch, but you want to have some consistent of the regular ones just mixed in at regular intervals. Sometimes you just, when you're looking up or down, you kind of get stuck on that pivot point of the mouse and can't quite get it turned the way you want to. Now, is this a sunset or just forest darkness going on? Looks sunsetty. A little bit of progress. Remember that first visit here when we just waited for the saplings to fall? Silly us. Oh yeah, all we need to do is get some pods and we'll just grow these back at the farm and have our dark oak trees there. At the time I didn't realize quite how direct it was. I didn't know that we could just cut straight to the coast and boat. Be here in just a little bit of a day. I mean, it practically is a farm. On our farm. It's like the South 40. Going down to the South 40, that's where we got trees growing on this farm. I hear you. Got any friends coming? Keeping us on our toes. It's nice of them, because don't want to forget that creepers could come. They're a little less groany than the zombies. Alright, remember we're staying humble. That's our deal. Humility and playing scared. And as you can probably tell from past videos, that's loose consideration for me. We don't want to play boring here. We just want to remember that mobs could be coming after us at any point. As long as we don't forget that, we're likely to do okay. Yep. Looks like we got a nice little cave or hole or something here. Once we've done all this bit, that should get thoroughly explored in our spare time. Good tree, tall and kind of had a lean to it. Ooh, see how that cuts back in there? That's kind of trappy. No more trappy than if that tree had been hovering right next to. That's always a good trick. Go pick up the wood. Ah. Hey, apple. Good stuff. Feeling a little tingly, like you gotta keep looking. And after my psychic powers were revealed on that lava flow in the last episode, yep. Don't doubt. Alright. I don't know if we're gonna do the big oak tree. That sounds a little bit tedious. So I was talking again about my fantasy league. I kind of lost track there, and you know, doing the kind of preseason Zoom meeting, which is it's a chance for people, that haven't really caught up, or some people are in, and you have little pockets within the group, right? This is for fantasy football players. You guys may be familiar. This is it's a dynasty keeper league, kind of our own styling and making. We do 16 rounds maybe of a traditional draft. It's not auction or anything like that. And you have two potential keepers every year. The first is what we call a veteran keeper. And that is, typically your best player on your team, that you can keep in the first round. And that would be elite running back, elite wideout, maybe an elite quarterback. Kelsey, some people will keep basically it's just the person you'll take above all others, best person on your team. And then the only requirement that we have in the draft is that if you do not have a rookie keeper on your team, you must draft at least one rookie during your draft. So if you're a new owner, there've been a little bit of turnover over the years. 20 years, come on. So if you're joining, or if you've, for whatever reason, you're dropped, injured, your former rookies retired, anything like that, you have to then draft a new one, or at least one. And the rookie is really important because that sounds like a pillager. I don't know that we've had any of them yet. Where are the rest of your buddies? Where are the rest of your guys? Shoot! Are they not close enough? This is just silly. Come here. Come on, guys. I really need you to get him because... There we go. Take him out. Take him out. You're all in very big trouble now. Oh, I'll be in big trouble if I don't eat. Yeah, without cows or milk or anything like that, and having slaughtered every cow around here, and wanting to go back through villages because I think I left my boat parked at one. I really didn't want to get bad omen there. But that's the old trick there. A little inefficient, but we'll let the other pillagers take out their leader. Did not get a crossbow, so we can't track down any others to taste of their own medicine, all that other good stuff, but well, doing all right here. Let's use up the rest of the sacks. I think we'll leave that mushroom as our marker. Get rest of these trees knocked down here. Oh, this is This is working out, folks. Hopefully, I think we needed some ridiculous, like 20 some stacks of wood. And we're certainly not quite there yet, but we had some back at home. Come on. While we're waiting here, just check a quick time. 45, so we got plenty of time to add to our supply here. Okay, now we're getting close. Add to our supply, finish up this axe, and then get on back to base. So anyway, I was explaining kind of our fantasy football team. So it's really cool because when you have selected a rookie and held him on your roster for the entire previous year, he is then an eligible rookie keeper for your team. And you can then have him in our last round of our draft, which is the 14th round. So if you pick right with a rookie, you can have, and we've all had over the years lots of, and this kind of evolved over the first maybe 5 years or so of the league. But the elite players in the league end up becoming rookies. And I didn't mention, but this is a 14-team league. So typically, if you just kind of go and join a public league or whatever, they run from 8 to 12 teams, and with like a 12-round draft, you have all the star type players that you've heard of out there on all the various teams. So you can imagine with 8 teams, theoretically, it won't always play out this way, but each of the teams is going to have one of the 8 best quarterbacks. Likewise, you usually have like 2 running backs, 2 wideouts, a spot that can be either a running back or a wideout, a bunch kicker, defense, a tight end, all that good stuff. But on an 8-team team, the worst team is going to have much better players than the worst team in our 14-team league. There's 6 extra teams, and when you consider that there's 32 teams in the NFL, if you have 14 teams, that means that if everybody has, say, quarterbacks, right? You want to have a quarterback, that's pretty important. So you take one and a backup at some point. Well, that means that 28 of the 32 teams' quarterbacks are now actively on a roster. And if yours gets hurt and you're down to a backup who wasn't that good anyway, who may be in the lower third of the league, that gets pretty interesting. And since some teams you don't know who's going to start, maybe they're considering a rookie, maybe they've got somebody else, it's fine. Back in the day, if you had Peyton Manning, now if you have Aaron Rodgers or oh man, I can't even think of the Buffalo guy. I had him last year, but again, I'm bad with names. If you have one of those guys, it's all gravy until if they get hurt, or in these years if they get COVID or something, then you're out of luck. So it's really interesting. We don't. Some people spend a whole lot of time researching, know all the players still. I used to be that guy in my 20s and my 30s. I kind of kept it up and faked it pretty well. Now I'm just kind of like, and yeah, give me a list of expert opinions. It kind of comes full circle. It's like when I first started. I just can't keep up with all the the news and happenings and team rosters. But there's a time when oh, who's the third wideout for the Atlanta Falcons, a team I don't particularly care. I care about them as much as any other team, but I don't particularly follow them or anything. But I could tell you the depth charts of pretty much every single team in the NFL. It was crazy. Now, you age a little bit and you go, there's more to life than that. I don't need to spend the month leading up to a draft for that. So, as you may guess, since we're all friends, kind of scattered all over the country and have been for 20 years, decades, and some people have come in new and people have brought in friends from across the country. So it's kind of a cool group, but we travel to get to see each other. And last year, a couple people met up in Missouri that were kind of clustered around there and could all drive. And they did kind of a socially distanced, but still in-person kind of representation of our draft. I think there were like 4 or 5 of them. And that was it. Everybody else was virtual. It was the first time that we really said, yeah, we're just doing this. And so it was what everybody had to do. We all had to make sacrifices. But this year we are going to get together again. Looking forward to it. It should be a blast. And catching up with everybody, seeing everybody face to face, and doing another one of these drafts. And we have all the traditions and stuff you might imagine. So much fun. Definitely recommend it. I know, man, at least in Colorado, I don't know about wherever you may live if you're in the United States, but in Colorado not too long ago, we, as a state, legalized sports books or sports betting or whatever, and I know there's a lot of money to be made, and I know it's hugely popular, but man, oh man, especially when it first started, but it still is ongoing. Anytime you watch any kind of sports thing, it is just jammed with like 4 different national or international sports books, all competing to get you to gamble on stuff, and that's really not my deal. If I'm in Vegas or Tahoe or something like that, and either one of my teams playing or it's New Year's and I'm watching a bowl game or something like that, I may throw an insignificant amount of money down just to we're hanging out watching a game in a sports book or whatever. I'll do that. Some of the prop bets are fun. I think one of the best I've ever done with is to bet what they had listed on the board as like the grand salami or something, and it was the combined over under of all the goals that would be scored in the NHL in the games that day, and it was like 20 or whatever, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's like 6 games, that means that between all those teams, all the games have to be 1-2 or less, and that doesn't seem completely likely. And sure, there could be shutouts or 1-0 or whatever, but I bet the over, and it paid off huge. Not, again, huge. I probably put like $20 on it, and I got, I don't know. It was so long ago, I don't even remember. But I learned years and years and years ago not to bet on my teams. As I've said, I went to the University of Colorado years and years and years ago, and back when the Buffaloes were still pretty elite, contending to try to get top bidding and get back to the national championship game again. Back then, there wasn't exactly a national championship. This was even before BCS, but they played in the Fiesta Bowl. I want to say it was 2001 against Oregon, and a bunch of us piled into cars and road trip down there, swung through Vegas on the way to Tempe to stop for the night. It was long road trip down to Arizona. So we stopped over in Vegas, met up some friends down there, and kind of all drove down together. the California friends and those of us coming from Colorado, and we stopped in the thing, and whatever, it was a big trip, whatever. I was like, $100 on my Colorado Buffaloes. Let's go win this, and I think they were favorites and all that. Just an embarrassing game. Got absolutely crushed. And it was like that's it. I'd done. As I've said, I love hockey too. So a lot of times, if I was out there, the deal is like you put money on your team to win the championship, whatever it is, and you get the odd. It's like the odds for Colorado to win the Stanley Cup are 200 to 1, and I don't know, whatever. And then you wait out the season and see, and you can. That's how you make really good money. Is it if your team is not projected to win a championship and has long odds, but then improves through a season or something, you can make a bunch of money that way. It's one of those that I as I understand from more into it sports bettors than I am, that's it. You find the places where the books are there's no money being laid on these teams, but if you've watched the draft and stuff and you're like, there's some reasons why this team is about to take off, that's where you put your money in. But if you just do that casually on your team, it's all fun. Yay, I won, and then they go on and win it. Well, that's great, but then the trade-off is now you got to plan a trip just to go cash in that money, and nobody ever does, and it's just a big old waste of time. So I don't do any of that kind of stuff. It's too disappointing when if you're not invested enough without having money on it to watch your own team play a sport, in my mind, something's wrong. Your fanhood needs to be checked. For me, that's no problem. That's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I'm not a big sports guy, but yeah, they have the sports book. So anyway, I know that's replaced a lot of fantasy, but just in my rambling, and if you can find a league or make a league amongst your friends, you never know what it could turn into as life goes by. And for us, it's really been a fun way to stay connected. Back when the internet, back in 2002, when the internet was still new, we would live on message boards. It was before there were chats and all that. So while we're at work and checking on our teams, and we have that window up with everything else, we would we just message each other all day long through work and keep in contact that way. It perfectly suited to multitasking. It's way better than I know I'm kind of countering this by recording videos that I know some of you guys are watching at school or work or whatever. Hey, message boards and things like that are much more efficiently multitasked. You can be doing that because, for my job, a lot of it is checking with messages and making sure that everything is running well and being ready if I receive an alert that, something needs attention. So that's just another way of doing it. Anyway, give it a shot if you got it. I know there's other activities too, but it's a good way over long years to keep in touch with people and make it a little more fun than just, hey, let's go on a trip together, and then you get there and it's like, so we caught up for 5 minutes. Now what are we gonna do? Anyway, I've got friends that I love to visit and hang out with too. So anyway, I think that's going to do it for us here. As a recap, we've now got a lot of wood. Let's real quick take a look here. 9 there, and another 5 is 14. So we're up there if we do everything. We still need slabs of some kind, and like I said, I think next episode we maybe go on just an exploring wander, see if we can find any other biomes, any shipwrecks, anything like that, and get really lucky. If we could knock out a few bamboo, whew, that would be huge. That would be the next big thing, along with any other loot craziness that's out there. So that's maybe the plan for the next one, is just go have some fun aimlessly wandering and seeing what's in the world. But until then, you guys take care. I'm going to take a nice little break here. I've done a couple of these so far this morning, and get out and enjoy the world before it gets too hot. Today, I think our heat is going up. So, y'all take care. Do the same if the timing is appropriate. But night or day, you guys know the world's got all kinds of surprises out there waiting for you if you just want to go discover them. It takes a little bit of effort, and the reward is life lasting. So, go have some fun, have a little adventure, and we'll see you back here for the next one. Bye now, and as always, thank you guys so much for the likes, comments, all that. Keep up those. Really do appreciate them, and subscribe if you want to be on the cutting edge of any new videos that come up. We'll see you back here. Bye.